The first lawnmower race was in 1973, and we ran 2 the next year and 3 or 4 the next year, and then we were trying to think of something a little bit special. So we thought, obviously, of a 24-hour race like the Le Mans 20 sports car race or Daytona or whatever. But a 24-hour race takes too big a chunk out of the working week. So then we thought about 6 hours, but 12 hours we finished with, because you start in daylight, the end of a Saturday, go through the night, as close to midsummer as you get. So you have 6 hours, you have about 3 hours of daylight, 6 hours of darkness, and then about 3 hours of daylight, and it's a lovely balance, and people have time to go home afterwards and go to work on Monday.
Team, what's morale like?
Fantastic!
Well, there's your answer. It seems to be pretty high at the moment, probably because we've got ages to wait until we actually have to get on the mower and race it, so we're just enjoying the peace and quiet.
Whoa, yeah. Oh.
Okay, hang on, let's just knock it down. Yeah, you see on the bottom there, Mike, that fuel flow's dropped.
Yeah.
At the moment, I've just got this FF channelizer. It's got it hooked up to the engine, and we're just monitoring the engine vibration. So at the moment, I've got a couple of concerns, but we're just going to run with it. The vibration's a little bit higher than what I'd really like to see.
I think you have to have tactics, and you need to stick to a plan. And after so many hours, if you're ahead, then you can then modify your plan. But you do need to have a plan and try and stick to it.
The weather at the moment is just scorchingly hot. It's awful.
You just have to be careful on the corners, really, if it's too dusty, so you can, make sure there's nothing in the way. It's going to be a very fast race because it's not wet.
Jason Fisher, and I'm not entirely sure what the team name is.
My name's Steve Richardson, and I'm racing a 12-hour lawnmower race.
We haven't done mower racing before, and it looks like we're in at the deep end. We're straight into the race with no practice. So.
It's a really good sport, loads of aggression, and we've been doing it a long time now. We just like to do it. We keep saying it's as last year, but here we are again.
What was it?
We're not racing to win because we don't feel that our mower is as good as that, but we're hoping to go constantly for 12 hours and have a finish.
I'm the Westwood lawn bug man myself, but I had a chance to go on the tractor this year and I've taken it.
Last weekend it was working perfectly, but of course you add the whole race to the mix and it doesn't work now.
Considering this is really, this is the first time it's run in anger, so to speak. And I think we all feel pretty confident that we're going to really do well and we're going to get a good position.
We've all got the same chance until that flag drops.
It's quite fast on the straight, but the corners are just all over the place.
This year we're having a bit of a change. I'm driving for the Luxembourg team, Team Schmatt.
We came second in class last year, and I just don't think we're going to beat that this year.
We can alter things as we go round. If we want to lean off the fuel as we go round or whatever, we can do that. We can also alter the ride height of the grass box just to give us a bit more downforce down the straight.
I think it's just the excitement. From 8 o'clock this morning we've been absolutely flat out on this machine. We haven't had a spare minute, and it's just the teamship, we're all together, all working for a single goal. You don't get that in a sprint meeting.
Yeah, the clutch wasn't too good. That's still not too good, but it might work.
Unless you've done it, it's very difficult to describe, but this is, I think, my 12th 12-hour race. I've won it. It's just it's hard to describe, but all the passion of all the racing takes place in the 12-hour race.
I think there's going to be quite a few accidents purely because the bumps tend to be mid-corner, so you can go in fairly quickly. Then you tend to hit bumps, which can cause accidents if you're not used to how to handle it. You can easily be thrown skyward on your side, I'm afraid. So it's going to be fairly tricky, yeah.
Sorry. I think we'll probably do about half an hour and we'll be busted again. We'll be out.
I think it's mainly the endurance of the machine, to be honest. All we've got to do is just keep a nice steady pace and keep going.
There's going to be a lot of engines blow up probably because of the length of the straights, and just hope it all stays together really.
I think there's probably 2 or 3 other good teams at our level, so we know we're in with a chance.
The opposition at the moment seems to be doing an awful lot of work on its mowers, so we're not too worried about the majority of them. The Tornado lads in the pit next door, to be honest, they may be RAF fighter jocks, but I don't think they're going to be able to handle the speed out there.
This is totally laid back and it's just such a good laugh for ourselves to do. It's just so different from anything else. As you can see by the guys behind me, morale's really high and we just love doing this meeting.
3, 2, 1, go!
Good start actually. Got ahead into third place and then we kind of fell back a little bit. We got a puncture, so we lost a bit of time for that, but now we're back out there. We'll be alright, steady as you go.
It's bumpier than normal. Straights are alright, but as soon as you start going across the field, it's very bumpy already.
One of the drivers had an accident. He hit the rear of another mower and flipped up. The mower did 3 somersaults and the driver's dislocated his shoulder. Luckily, the ambulance crew have managed to put his shoulder back. He's now helping us repair it.
We've had 1 or 2 little teething problems, just little things like the throttle spring went, but we've got a good team here, so we've got it all back together. It's great.
It's very bumpy. Well, it's unbelievable, to be honest. It's nice and dry now, but very bumpy, very hard on your bum.
The thing is, this was a ploughed field, and the plough runs from the top of the field to the bottom, so the straights are okay, but you have to cross over sometime. So it's when you cross over the old plough that you get the bumpy bits.
We're going very steadily. We're finding a lot in the same group as us are going a lot faster, but they're coming into the pits a lot more with damage. So we're taking it steady. That's our strategy.
Go for it!
Yeah, superb. Nice and bumpy. That'll slow everyone else down. We just keep going.
We're down to 2 of us now, but we're going to keep going. At the end of the day, we've come an awful long way not to keep going now. The machine itself isn't performing as it was, but we're going to keep going. Got to do.
Well, being in a standard class, not terribly fast, but the mower's still going, and we're not lost.
Back, kidneys, neck, shoulders, arms. In fact, there's very little that doesn't feel the pain after a short while. No, seriously, it's the lower back that gets you when you're my age. That's why I just let the youngsters out and keep them out there a bit longer.
Racing. That's Colin Clegg's mob, race number 2, and followed by Mutt's Nuts. The great thing about this track is that they've got all the straights run with the plough line, and they've got some long straights to recover from the bumps. Yeah, okay, they're going across the bumps, but I mean, compared with some tracks we've had, this is pretty good. I mean, they've raced on ploughed fields before now, so it's not that bad.
But it's pretty bumpy, and I think that's what caused it to break in the first place.
Mower's built for absolute speed, tuned to perfection, as you saw earlier.
Drivers get very, very fatigued quickly. At this time of night, this is when the mistakes are being made. This is when drivers are starting to get sleepy, banging into other mowers, forgetting where the track goes is often quite popular. And it's the same for us, but we've still got to be alert, make sure these guys are all right.
4 o'clock in the morning's their low ebb, but the way they're going, I don't think they are going to slow down or have a low ebb. I think it's going to be flat out all the way. I think they're making up for the last couple of years.
We're all a bit disappointed that it's broken again, but it was going really well. When it was going really well. But at least we can settle down with a nice glass of whiskey now.
We're battling for second now. Steve's out and he's just past number 4. So we're now 1 and a bit laps behind and he's pulling away about 3 seconds a lap.
If we get a finish, then I'm going to be quite happy with that. Apart from that, there's been highlights finding that we did have a third driver, even if he did only do 40 minutes of driving. That was quite high. And just the fact that we're still out there really is a big thing, even with all our difficulties we've had throughout the race. The rear suspension linkage is totally snapped and it's all loose and wobbling about, so we've just put a couple of ratchet ties on there to firm it up to last us the last hour and a half, and hopefully we're finished.
Been a very good race, exhausting.
Hard work.
First time I've actually won it, and I'm pleased that I've actually won it on actually on my mower as well.
I think we've just stayed consistent all the way through the night. We've done good lap times, all three of us, and we've stayed as consistent lap times. So yeah, I think we've had an excellent pit crew that's sorted it out.
Coming 62, your time is up. Where are you? Oh, thank God. Thank God.